Good morning, Monday Morning Mamas. Welcome to the Monday Morning Mama Show, where I bring you fresh and fun inspiration for every mom every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Central Time. How are you guys doing today? I'm going to give Facebook just a minute to notify you guys and let you know that I'm here for the show this morning. Super excited to dive in. We had a cancellation for our guest this morning, but I'm really excited to share regardless about this topic with you today. So, are you a mom who has a case of the Mondays? How about morning in general? Are you like totally not a morning person? Are you wanting to be a morning mama and enjoy your mornings a little bit more each week and each day? If you said yes to any of that, then this show is for you today. So welcome to the Monday Morning Mama Show. All of you who are on the replay this morning, all of you who are on live with me. This morning we are on episode 10 already of the Monday Morning Mama Show, and I'm really excited about the direction that the show is taken, and I'll talk a little bit about that coming up as well. Really excited though that we have been through 10 episodes of the show already. It has truly been a pleasure to serve moms in this way and to get to connect with all these amazing guests we've had on the show so far. Really exciting for me, and I hope it has been as fun and exciting for you as well. So today's show is all about being of service. How many of us feel that drive and determination to serve others? This morning, we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're also going to talk about some important things that you need to know when you set out to serve others. And I'm going to dive in and tell you a lot about me growing up and kind of where the direction my life has taken, and some interesting correlations between things that I used to do as a child and how I choose to serve others now. But I want to welcome all of you to the show. Please comment down below, say hello, tell us where you're joining in from, and whether you're on live or on the replay today, give some comments, hearts, ask questions, interact with me. I love that part of the live video where I can really share this space with you, because ultimately I do this to be of service to moms, to bring you joy at the start of your week. So all that being said, I am your hostess, Jessica Dugas. I'm the co-owner of Just Determined, and I'm a mentor of moms in the Moms Online Mastermind community. And it's in that community that I really help moms to reduce the stress and overwhelm in their life that's holding them back from being the best human being that they can be, and really discover a balance that works for them in a supportive and loving community. So I want to really quickly check on my feed to make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to do. Yes, okay, good. So, and jumping right into our topic this morning of being of service. So, how many of you would say that you have a desire to be of service to others? Let me know in the comments below if that is you. If you feel like you want to be there for others, you want to serve other people, you have a drive to do that. I know for me, I've always kind of had this desire to serve others. And again, I have to, like I mentioned, I have to marvel at the direction that this show is taken, because the last few shows are really going to tie in today about stepping into leadership, your journey, your vision, and boundaries you've set for your life, or maybe boundaries you haven't set for your life. But I've always had this desire to serve others. And I remember as a child making these mini courses and mini seminars for people in my family. And it's hilarious that these memories have come up today because it's so where I'm at in my life right now, but doing it for work. And I always have looked back at my life and at choices that I've made and thought, okay, I'm really not doing anything today that I ever thought I would do. But I think that there is some correlation there between what I would do as a child and the play that I would have and what I'm doing today. So I would make these mini courses for people in my family, and I would invite them into my classroom or into my seminar space, which was usually like my bedroom or the living room, to attend this class that they didn't ask for. And I have two that come into my mind that I want to share with you today. The first is that I did this class about loving everyone for my grandmother. And I always used to have like this epic entrance music. And so funny, like I said, flashing forward to today and seeing all these seminars that people run and classes, and they've got this very like synchronistic music playing. Anyway, this class about love, I started by playing Taylor Dayne's Love Will Lead You Back. Do you remember that song? Love will lead you back. Someday I just know that love will lead you back to my heart. You remember that song? Okay. That's my little karaoke for the morning. So I started playing that song, and then I read a passage from the Bible about love. Love is patient. Love is kind. You know, the Bible verse with that. And I gave this mini sermon about receiving love, giving and receiving love at about 8 or 9 years old. So really funny, really synchronistic with the kind of stuff that I'm doing today. And it was something that I hadn't thought about in a really long time. And the next one that comes to mind for me, the next class that comes to mind for me that I did, is classes I used to make about stopping smoking for my mother, who was a smoker. And of course, I had some fresh McGruff the Crime Dog music going on, and pamphlets given to me by my DARE instructor at school. For any of you that aren't in the United States, DARE is a drug abuse resistance education that most public school children go through here in the United States. So needless to say, that class was never appreciated, nor did she ever stop smoking. And in fact, I had gone on to smoke for a little while later in my teens. So really, really interesting. But, and I just want to tell you really quickly that I'm not showing anything in my feed for who's here and comments, and has really been acting up quite a bit lately. So if you are there and I'm not interacting with you, please know that I will go back and interact with you later on the feed. So I find some things very interesting about these two stories. The first thing is that I realized that early on I had this desire to make the world a better place and to fix all of the people in it. And now in the work that I do, I realize that I still have that same desire. The problem that came in, and I clearly see that early on, is that I had this habit of trying to fix people whether or not they wanted to be fixed. And so I would do these little classes as a reflection of what I wanted to see in the world and in other people at the time. And now looking in on these two stories in particular, first of all, my grandmother was the source of unconditional love in my family. And so that little class I did was a bit like preaching to the choir, wasn't it? About giving and receiving love, because she was the one in my family who was really like the backbone for that. And, but looking back, I can see that I wanted to do this class for her because I knew she would enjoy it. I knew I'd be talking to her about something that she knew and understood and agreed with. And so there was no fear there of negative feedback, other than, I'm sure in her mind she was thinking, I have 8,000 things to do and I'm sitting here in a pretend class with an 8-year-old. And so, and then in the case with my mother, it was completely opposite. You know, here is someone that is content in their habit, and they have their child then coming to them about what they're doing is wrong and unhealthy and they should stop without having been asked to hear it. That was like preaching to a rock. You know, she didn't ask for it, nor did she want to hear it. And that just left me then feeling frustrated, angry, and honestly really hurt, because at the time I was feeling like, okay, here I am trying to do what I believe is going to extend your life, and you don't care enough about me to help yourself. And so again, in both of these situations, it really was about me and about what I wanted in my life and about this reciprocation from them. What am I going to get back from them? Not about truly serving them. The focus was very ego-oriented. It was very, I was looking for acceptance and love, and you know, so much. I mean, I could go down a rabbit hole with this, with both of these stories, and really get deep and you know, ask myself why I was looking for these different things and what exactly was I looking for by doing this. But it comes down to those basic, you know, truths that I really, number one, absolutely wanted to serve other people, but I was going about it in a way of, what am I going to get back from this? Whether that was love or acceptance, or, you know, the knowing that they cared enough about themselves to stick around with me, to do whatever they could to stick around with me longer. And so it really has been an interesting process looking back on that in terms of the show today, being of service to others. Now, I want to really quickly check really quickly in here to see if I have any comments that they are not seeing. Craziness. Anyway, it's driving me nuts with this not showing things today. But like I said, I will go back and comment later. So I want to fast forward to something that happened the other day. And like I said, I hadn't thought about these little seminars that I used to do. In fact, until this morning before the show, I used to sit down to do this show, you know, a week or two in advance and write out every single thing that I was going to say. And it really was not feeling divinely led like I like to do things. And so I made the decision just to get up a half hour earlier on Mondays and cram for my show right before the show, because I feel like a lot of what comes out is meant to come out now. So anyway, I hadn't even thought about those little seminars that I used to run until right before the show this morning, which is really interesting. But the other day, the synchronicity of this all is killing me right now. The other day, I went out to the store in the morning, and I got to the like a T section of the road where I had to turn on the main road. And at this section, I saw something moving in the road, and I squint and I look a little bit closer, and I realize that it's a turtle in the middle of the road. Now, I have explained to people before, I've always kind of liked animals, but have never really had like a heart-to-heart connection with animals before. And it's interesting how that connection with animals has changed for me ever since our family became plant-based. It really, it's just, I can just say it's interesting. I'm not going to go down that road of that topic today, but it's almost like a heart-to-heart connection with other life. on this planet. And so I see this turtle, and I immediately, I don't know what came over me. I felt very connected to this turtle. And so I realized in watching it, now turtles are normally slow, you know, when they're crossing the road. And I've heard of other people like, you know, moving the turtle to the side so it doesn't get hit and everything else. And I see this turtle going, and I realize it's going slower than normal. And I look closer, and one of its back legs, it was hurt. It kept giving out every time it went to put weight on it. And so then, you know, I'm like, here I am, my highly sensitive, empathetic self was all like, oh, poor turtle, you know, and feeling really sorry for this turtle. And mind you, I am officially in the middle of the road, because I saw the turtle and I got the car in the middle of the road. Thank God this was earlier in the morning, and I can only imagine what the people that live there were thinking in this moment, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. So I'm watching this turtle, and I'm having all of these thoughts. Like, I open the door to get out and help this turtle across the road, and I suddenly am like, no, I shouldn't help this turtle. So I get back in the car, and I'm thinking, why did I just do that? Why did I not want to help this turtle? And I had several things coming into my mind about being of service to this little turtle in the middle of the road. And the first thing was that while I felt this connection, and this is going to sound out there and a little bit woo-woo, so just stay with me here, okay? Stay with me. So I felt this connection to this turtle, but I never heard the turtle. The turtle didn't ask me to help it across the street. Turtle never said, hey, woman, my leg is hurt, help me across the street. Turtle never said that. And like I said, I know that sounds a little out there and woo-woo, but stay with me, okay? Because I really, really did feel that connection with this turtle. And so then I started thinking, you know, for me, that I'm always looking for this validation from people that I want to help, whether they ask me to help or not. I'm always looking for this validation. Why aren't people showing up? Why aren't, you know, I help them and I give, and I get nothing in return. And it's not a selfish thing. It's coming from this place of wanting to feel like I've done something good, like I've helped someone or something somewhere. So it's not coming from a place, not coming from so much of this kind of, you know, greedy place of, you know, I want for me. It's really, you know, this trap that we fall into of validation for ourselves. Like, am I doing a good thing? What am I doing right or wrong right now? And this need for perfectionism. Am I doing enough? That sort of thing. Anyway, I knew that if I helped this turtle across the road, that there were, coming around this road, that there were probably 20, 25 other roads that they were going to have to cross before it got to the pond or the water area that I knew was down there. And I didn't have time that morning to help the turtle across every road or to follow it. And then if I helped it across this road, I'd be sitting there wondering, what happened to the turtle? Is the turtle okay? I know me. I know the kind of sensitivity that I feel when I feel it. And so I knew that in that moment, I had to just simply let the turtle do its thing, trust that the turtle knew what the heck, it obviously got to this point without me, you know, trust that the turtle was going to be okay, knew what it was doing, and whatever was going to happen from then on out was going to happen. So there was a lot that came up around this turtle the other morning. it was even before the stories I told you earlier, the beginning of the show. It was realization that I always try to help things without, and beings without being asked to help. And I always have this expectation of wanting to know, what happens after, or wanting the feedback or reciprocation in some way from a being. And also, leaning into my faith that things are going to go exactly the way they're supposed to go anyway, and to not have so much worry. And so I sat there in the middle of the road. Now, mind you, this is over about a 10-minute period of time. So I'm in the middle of the road for 10 minutes. Again, have no clue what the people on this road were thinking, or I was really glad that other cars didn't come during the time that I was there. But I just sat there and held space for this turtle, that it was going to cross the road okay. And I just had in that moment of faith, I just said, no, you're going to get where you're supposed to go and everything's going to be fine. And I was cheering him on, because even though he had a hurt leg, he was still getting across the road okay. It was really kind of this beautiful moment with this turtle. And so I had the choice in that moment to ask myself, do I want to be of service right now? Do I need to be of service right now? Did this being ask me to be of service right now? What good is it going to do for me or this turtle to be of service right now? And it really came back and gave me a profound look at my work and my own life, and all from this little turtle. And now reflecting today on those seminars, if you will, that I used to give when I was little, it makes even more sense. When I started tapping into my intuitive gifts and connecting with other people on a soul-to-soul level, and connecting with angels and connecting with God in a deeper level, it really, this desire to be of service got even more strong. And to the point of, I was telling a friend last night, it's like word vomit. Like when I know that someone that I love and I care for is going through something, it's like, ugh. I want to help them immediately, whether or not they asked for help. And as a light worker, as a healer, to me, I think of like a doctor, like a surgeon. I mean, what if a surgeon, was in the middle of Walmart and came to meet someone who had like an obvious, something sticking off them that needed to be like surgically removed, and he just got his tools out in the middle of Walmart and did surgery right there without asking the person if that's what they wanted. And like that just wouldn't happen. And so we really have to, think as unconventional healers and light workers, and those of us that are in service to other people in whatever way, did they ask for us to help? Did they ask for us to be in service today? And I think if we want to help, we want to be in service, depending on our relationship with this person, if we're a closer relationship, we can say, hey, I can help you if you'd like, or I'd love to try to help you. Would you be open to that help? And if the answer is no, you've got to be okay with that. You've got to be okay with not being in service, even though you have the desire to be. And in that moment, you just need to hold space, pray for this person that they are going to receive the messages that they need or receive the healing that they need in their own time. And when it's right for them, and you've got to kind of learn to be okay with that. And that's something that I am in the process of learning to be okay with right now. That yes, my purpose, my mission has been here to help moms and to heal people, but the moms that don't want my help and the people that don't want to be healed are not the ones that need my services. And so continuing with, how can you let people know that you're in service is just to put yourself out there and let people know what you do. Let people know why you are in service, what services do you offer, and then you've got to lean in that trust and faith that the people that are ready to be served and to be healed are going to find you, and they're going to come to you in their own time. And so I think that it is, I want to make a couple points because oh my gosh, time went by so fast this morning. I'm so honored to share these stories with you today because this really was a message that needed to come out. So, number one, being of service to others is an amazing feeling and thing to want to do. And you should feel honored, and there is no shame in honor and pride in wanting to be of service to others, and of feeling the joy that you feel when you can help and heal other people. The second point I want to make is to let go of expectations that you have of the world. Why are you wanting to be in service to other people? Are you wanting to serve other people because you want to serve them, or are you wanting to serve other people because you want to serve yourself? It's a hard question to ask. 3 is to let go of the expectation of reciprocation from other people. It goes back to that second question. Why are you serving? Are you serving because you want, it's great to want to feel that warm, fuzzy feeling when you can help someone inside. However, are you doing it just because of that, or do you truly want to serve other people, whether or not they are on live with you, whether or not they are in the group, whether or not they get the kind of results that you want them to get, whether or not they fulfill some kind of expectation for you or give you some kind of feedback or anything like that? What are you expecting from other people? Why are you serving? And I mean, that in itself is a trap that I fell into, for a long time with my own Facebook community. And I see other people doing the same thing now, being on live and going, well, nobody's here. Where is everybody? Guess I'm talking to myself now, like literally on live video. And I can't, throw stones at a glass house because I did the same thing. And now I come on these videos on Monday mornings, every Monday morning, to simply be of service, whether or not, like I see 2 people here right now, but I've got no comments. I'm here to be of service, and I'm here to trust that whoever is meant to hear the messages that I bring through, whether it's in the Monday Morning Mama Show, whether it's in my Mom's Online Mastermind community, whether it's in an oracle reading that I do, whether it's in some kind of channeled angelic message, whatever it is that I'm putting out there, I am going to sit here and have faith that whoever is supposed to hear my message will find me, and that no one has to be here when I'm doing it, because that's my ego. That's me wanting that reciprocal, expecting that reciprocal stuff that's just, it's very human, and we're bigger than that. So that's my message for you today about being of service. I really hope that this was helpful for a lot of you. I feel like this is a very timely message. We had the new moon in Leo yesterday, and Leo energy is really about being courageous and stepping up in leadership. And in order to do that, to step up into leadership and to serve, you've got to let go of a lot of these expectations. And final message is to don't forget to serve yourself, either simultaneously or first, because you cannot serve from an empty cup. So if you enjoyed this message this morning, if you want to learn more about how you can be of service, how you can find out how you should be of service, if you want to surround yourself with other women, with other moms who have that same goal of wanting to be the best servant that they can be, both for themselves and for other people, then I would love for you to join us in the Moms Online Mastermind community. We also have membership opportunities as well, but you can visit us at www.momsonlinemastermind.club, and I will put the link below as well so that you can visit us there. But thank you again so much for joining us for today's show. Next week, we are going to be back with the topic of what does it mean to be a guardian. We're going to look at the word guardian, and it's going to be really an interesting show next week. But for now, again, thank you so much for allowing me to serve you today. And until next week, I am Jessica Dugas, reducing stress in the world, one mom at a time, and I will see you next week.